When the guitar's out of the way, I should be good.
Yep. About what? Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, no. No. Stay on the A, Andy. This thing's harder to play than my electric guitar. Well, it's harder to play. Don't look at me like I'm stupid. Quill. Anthony. Anyway. So we're going to get closer to the mic when I move the guitar out of the way. All right. I'm going to give this up for now.
All right.
Because I'm not doing so well. All right, folks. Welcome to Experiment Night. We are
There's, yeah.
rolling out. Hello?
That one's me.
This one's me. Hello? I'm on the orange cable.
Yep.
That's one right there. Yes,
Yep,
maybe.
1 and 2.
Okay.
Could use a little more through the speakers too.
Just a shade. Hello.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
we
Yes.
Much better.
All right. We talked about it last week, and here we are. We are into the new format.
Yep.
We decided we're going to create one-shot adventures for all you wonderful people out there.
Maybe we should probably introduce ourselves too, maybe.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
At least a little bit for any new people out there.
Hey, Femi, took us, your lips, kiss. Harriest part, by the way.
Is there a hairiest part?
Yeah, there's a harriest part of my
Oh,
ass.
okay.
Trust me.
I mean, I don't want to know, but I'm Dave. This is Andy. We play D&D a whole lot and role-playing games in general. And we like to talk about it.
Yeah,
we also play music.
So this is Monsters and Minstrels, and you are on the first show of the new format. Real quick, before anybody gets started, please hit the follow button on Twitch. Please hit the subscribe button. Anything you do, subscribe. Anything you donate, anything you give is going to be going into the stream. It's going to be making it better. And that's our first shill. I think it works.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a question. If you burn a wood golem, does
Does it
it
become
die
a-
and become a charcoal golem? Only if, while it's on fire, you cover it in dirt so you get the oxygen out the same way you make charcoal normally. And then, yeah, I'd probably end up with a charcoal golem. Otherwise, it's just ash.
Full hand. Couldn't make it in tonight, but I'm in with my chat with a dragon loan shark. All right. Now. Oh, is that? Yes, it is actually.
Oh, we're off to a good start already.
If you mix a ash golem with a little bit of iron golem, you get steel golem. That's terrifying.
No.
However, if you mixed an ash golem with some lard, you'd get a soap golem.
Could you call him Bubbles?
Obviously. Aha! Nice.
Production Mistress is having a moment over here.
Oh,
Just so you people realize, I'm taking my headache pills now.
thank you.
Because I'm going to need them, I think. Now,
If I wanted to torment all of humanity, a pollen golem, hands down. Oh, yeah. No,
well, there's already one floating over the
worked great.
southeast of the United States, usually most, from like February to like June.
yeah, somewhere around there. So what we're getting into tonight is building a one-shot live. And I know a lot of you have probably played one-shots. Maybe you haven't. Basically, in a nutshell, a one-shot is a single-session D&D game where in a lot of cases, you're using pre-generated characters, whatever, at a set level for the story and whatnot.
Right.
Sound about right?
Yeah. Very succinct. I like that.
Yeah. So all you need is your butt.
Okay,
You
so
show
this
up.
one, in case you guys are curious, for the record, this one's going to be. This one's been done by Production Mistress. She created the adventure tonight. We're just going to fill in some details, and you guys are going to help us finish writing it. It's going to get published, and it's going to get published online somewhere where, if you choose to, you could actually purchase it and play it at your own table.
Where are we putting it? Is it on?
We'll figure that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on that. That's a
like-
work in progress.
Probably like Drive Through RPG or DM Academy, something like that.
Anyway.
or both maybe. Who knows?
just for a basic
But we'll
schedule.
let you guys know when or where it'll be.
Yes, Production
Eh.
Mistress is doing not Roll20. Production Mistress is doing tonight's game. Dave is responsible for next week's shenanigans, and the third week is going to be up to me and my idiocy. So congratulations.
Yeah.
We'll have it all. I'm going to go ahead and read the big idea, okay? And this is how Production Mistress does her. I really like it, as a matter of fact. It's very, very nice. The big idea is a red dragon runs a highly profitable loan business and has helped the kingdom thrive much like the Wild West banks. A mid-tier banker gave a loan to a small town to build a large dock and warehouse area. This loan was bamboozled by a black dragon who scammed the small town, diverting the loan payments to her company.
So think, shady collection agency.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's great.
She has gone in and said, "Oh, by the way, my company bought your loan, and now you owe me," and the town bought it.
Now that's
And they may or may not know she's a dragon.
They may or may. Yeah, I don't think they should.
Yeah,
Now,
it's better if they don't.
let me give you some more information that I think is really, really known. The Hook, the adventurers recruited by a talent scouting company, retained by Red Dragon Bank, and hired by a mid-tier banker, Nate, and I hope I'm not screwing this name up too badly, Harold Nupzingler. The scout offers the adventurer team the promise of a lucrative contract. The Red Dragon Bank is well known, always known to pay out. Even the local nobility and churches take loans from RDB, and the scout tells the adventurers to meet up with Harold at a local branch. Now, that's a really nice, easy setup. It gives the players an easy way to get in the door, gets the game rolling along good. It's got a nice, easy hook.
Yeah.
Now,
And we talked a little bit earlier about what level and number of players, which is really
this
important.
is another thing,
So
too.
one thing that could potentially end up happening is they're going to get in a fight with an adult black dragon.
Yeah.
So we're thinking along the lines of 4 to 6 players, level 7 to 10.
Yeah,
is
but-
probably
and-
right where you're going to want to be.
Right, and that's always subjective according to what is, how well you want to push it, and you can scale it.
Yeah.
You can have the stupid. You could have the black dragon just decide from minute one that as soon as the jig is up, she's going to bug out. So
Yeah.
you could use low level characters at that point. You don't have to write this for high level stuff. Keep in mind. And by the way, any of you out there watching, if you have any ideas to throw in midstream, we're watching it as we go. Please interject.
Sorry, your ideas, they'll be in the final.
But there's
Actually, they will be in the final version,
Yeah.
and that's a very true fact. Production Mistress just pointed out. If you threw ideas out here, you guys can be in the actual final thing.
Yeah. And there's a ton of ways that you could scale this too. You could scale the Black Dragon down to a young adult. You could run a higher level campaign and make her an older dragon. Beef up the enemies. It's not hard to do.
Now, the other part of the hook, branch is very well guarded. The adventurers arrive at the Red Dragon branch for the local town. The branch is well guarded. The Dragon Bank contracts many mercenary groups, pays them well. You have to sell the Red Dragon Bank, okay, as a good entity to work for. They're solid. They're well thought of. They always pay their bills. They pay their mercenaries good money. They take care of their employees, because it's important with the one shot to get the players to buy the hook. You got to get them on the hook. Then you set it, and you reel them in.
And story-wise, I kind of like the idea of nobody knows that it's an actual red dragon that runs the bank.
Right.
They think it's just like that's the logo and what they have, and it was a cool thing. It was a branding and marketing sort of thing. Nobody actually knows, except for like the higher level bankers, that it is actually run by a red dragon.
Right. And by the way, it is a bureaucratic nightmare. It's supposed to be, Femi. Now,
same thing with the Red Dragon Inn. It's that's just the name of the place.
just some flavor, okay? And you guys can move this around as you please with some flavor. When you meet with Harold, nice office, painting of the RDB founder hanging behind him. Question: if we don't know that the Red Dragon is actually a Red Dragon Bank is actually a Red Dragon, is it a painting of a human
polymorph.
form?
Yeah,
is it a polymorph?
version
Okay,
of him.
fine.
Yeah,
So here's the trick.
absolutely.
What sounds odd? I mean, what about the portrait would make the players go, "The hell"?
You could definitely.
Does he have a sharp nose?
Throw in a little hint. Yeah, maybe he's got kind of a sharper nose. Maybe his hair looks like smoke. Something like that.
Okay.
You could absolutely have like little tiny hints in there.
Cabinets all over the walls,
No-
scrolls, books,
yeah,
large abacus,
yeah.
leather-bound books.
Yeah.
Really good dental insurance.
Yeah. yeah.
Very good dental
But
insurance.
nothing obvious that would tip off the players. You don't want some player with a high passive perception to just spot it instantly and go, "Oh, that's a dragon in disguise." Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the weird shadow. Maybe the shadow has sort of a weird spiky look to it versus a human outline.
Or maybe he's in the portrait he's got a cameo hanging from his neck that's a dragon.
One of the things that was
So, at first glance it's like, oh, maybe this guy just likes dragons a lot.
now see, one of the things that I like here is that she put in some details that I thought are interesting. Ink stains on the fingertips, current fashion suit that is bespoke to him, platinum cufflinks with the RDB logo of a dragon on them, gold tie clip, wedding ring well polished, glasses carry quite a few enchantments, speaks without nervousness but with urgency, okay? So this is another part of the hook. Oh, good Lord. Look at Quill's last comment. Disciplined people's skeletons who tried to skip out on their loans painted gold to disguise that he's a bad dragon to cross.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I like about what's been presented here is that Harold's presented very what's the word I'm looking for here? Legitimate, because he is.
I think we need to make him a gnome. A gnomish banker.
I think gnomish bankers are hilarious. Have you guys seen the life and times of an RPGer?
I have not.
Yeah, all the shopkeepers and the money lenders are all little gnomes with little red pointed hats, and they're like just complete little ass hats. It's hilarious.
But yeah,
I don't like dwarven makers. I think dwarves make more of the more better construction crews. But that's either here or there. Now,
pawn shop owners. Yeah.
a pawn shop owner as a dwarf is hilarious. But anyway,
But I like the idea of like an elderly gnome. for this character, for this NPC.
Harold Nubzingler.
He's very harmless looking.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very well dressed, very harmless looking,
But
cheery little face.
But in the back of your mind, you're like, oh man, if I touch this guy in the wrong way,
I'm going to die.
he's just gonna make a call and then we're all dead. Yeah.
I love the ink on the fingers showing that he actually still does something.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That was why I said the ink on the fingers is a nice touch, because it means they're actually, physically working on things versus standing around waving his arm and making things happen.
Yeah. And that's something I love about fleshing out an NPC. In your one shots, you want to have at least a few NPCs that you really fully flesh out like that, with those little details.
Now, here's something that I think, goblins make fun, good pawn shop owners. Hell yeah, they do, Femi. Absolutely. I love goblins. Now, I love
goblins, I think, junkyard.
Goblins make great junkyards.
And that'd be a scrapyard owner. He's got a few dire wolves running around, patrolling the lot, sort of thing. But that's for a different one shot.
Now, this is the big part of the whole thing, okay? This is what you have to sell. This is where you're throwing your deal on the table. The job is offered. Local town Pennsbrook is 4 months delinquent on their loan payments. They suffered a large loss on their harvest and were given a stay of 2 months before they had to start up payments again, giving a total of 6 months since they were last able to pay. Given that there was a first issue with the loan since it issued 4 years prior, Harold sent a lower tier banker to look into it 2 months ago, but he stopped reporting in. That tells you a couple of things. There's more than one group has already been sent down there, okay? Mm-hmm. This is not the first group that was contracted by Harold. Harold thinks something bad is going on, but he's not going to share his thoughts because he's still trying to sell you on the idea of going to handle this shit for me.
And he's not sure entirely what's going on.
The other thing that he's going to do is he's going to sell the idea of a good job, good pay. You're going to be done in a couple of weeks. This is not going to be anything to worry about. Guys like you look like trained killers. You look like you could freeze the ass off of a Tarrasque good wizard. I mean, you got to sell it, okay? This guy is still, he's still a banker. He's still a fast-talking little shyster. You know what I'm saying?
And this is kind of a two-part mission. You're hired not only to figure out maybe what happened to the guys he sent before, but also figure out what's going on with the town and why they haven't paid.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I also want to mention too, guys, is the fact that it's very important that the players get the information. Work when you're going to get dinner, or you're going to be dinner, sure. You're going to get the information. Eating the baker's making them in the bone meal and sending them back to the farmers, but the poison stank dragon breath resin is killing the crops. Jesus H. Christ and Quana. Anyway.
Ooh, I do kind of like, maybe that's why the crops have died. Because
it's a great idea. You can throw that in there.
Into the area.
That's definitely why the crops died.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look at the crazy Druid ramblings he talks
Actually, and that goes in line with the regional effects of a black dragon with water turning poisonous in the area.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful.
And plants withering and
we can make that work for sure.
Yep.
But again, I'm going to reread this because this is kind of important. I want you to remember this is where this is where the players are going to get the real hook for everything. They're back 4 months delinquent. They suffered a large loss in harvest, which is where the poison water came from, because the black dragon would have done that to ensure the loss in the harvest to kind of get things rolling in her direction. Giving them, and then they were given 2 months to start up payments again. So the RDB's already extended some generous credit of 2 months. And then there's been 6 months since they were last able to pay, given that was the first issue in the loan since it was issued 4 years ago. So the town had 4 years of payment history that was solid, and now it's went to shit, okay?
Yeah. So we need a way for the Black Dragon to know that. She's got to have a mole in the town.
Yeah, absolutely. Somewhere, and that is largely up to
potentially somebody close to the mayor or whatever, the guy that runs down the Earl or whatever sort of leader.
There's a little thing here about filling in the contract. This is where your GM skills come into effect. It's up to you to haggle your players down to whatever the hell you can get them to do it for, whatever price they'll do it for. I don't care personally. My blandishments are, I'm going to give you too much money. If I'm the DM, I'm going to offer too much money, and my players are probably going to look at me and go, huh.
Yeah.
This sounds like bullshit.
Right.
But anyway.
It's like, is this guy from Nigeria?
So yeah, but right. So when they accept the job, they sign the contract, and again, to me, with this bank structure with the dragon, this sounds to me like you make it very specific. Mm-hmm. We have a contract. You get a copy. I have a copy, and a copy's filed in the bank vault.
Right.
This is going to be passed up the line to the head honcho. He's going to sign off on it too. So you know you're going to get paid. Mm-hmm. And you also know you're going to have to hold up your end in the fucking meantime.
Right.
And that's kind of another part of the thing that sort of, to me, you almost want to play this guy like he's going to be selling it to you like a used car salesman, but there's that undercurrent of, you do realize I can screw you, right? Mm. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Always, especially when a red dragon's involved. You want to be...
It's a bank.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not only going to be if you fail at your mission, you're either going to die or you're going to owe the bank money.
There's Quill again with that damn seduction thing. You know what the good news for me is? Yeah, signing blood and a quarter pound of your soul. That's cool, Quill. The seduction thing with the dragon. If you want to seduce dragons, have at it, buddy. Now, after you've signed the contract, yes, I'll go take care of your problem for you, RDB. You find out that Harold's son has secured passage for the group on the Dragon's Tail River on a boat. Because the bank you meet at, we died over here, connection loss. You find out that the bank is not in the same location as the other one.
Right.
So you have to travel from your bank location to the actual town of Pennsbrook. And you travel on the Dragon Tails River. The boat is called the Fang. It's owned by Harold's sister and her wife Erica and Lulu Nupzingler Brook.
So you've got corporate transport, and all that.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Putting you up
Wonderful.
in a hotel or whatever.
Absolutely. Just to make sure you're going to be okay, you take care of the job.
Another carrot you can dangle in front of the players as well is the promise of future work. We're going to pay you an exorbitant amount of money to do this thing for us. And if it all works out, maybe you'll be our go-to mercenaries to go, do more stuff for us.
You've also got you've also got to sell this out as being, the normal thing that's good that people always want to work. I mean, you almost want them to have to shove somebody out of line to get in line to see Harold first to get into this job because it pays so well and working for the bank is a great idea.
You could even turn the interview into kind of almost like an audition.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you get there and there's like 4 or 5 other adventuring parties and they're all thinking, oh, we got this because blah, blah, blah.
And if y'all are talking, we're not ignoring you. We just lost our feed real quick.
Yep.
It'll be up in a minute. We'll be all right. The river trip is 8 hours. Crew often shops in the town.
You can always have the tryout be a combat if you want a really combat-heavy group.
Yeah, you could do that. Could even be your first combat session where it's, okay,
crew versus crew.
Now that everybody's here, here's how this is going to work.
Right.
You're all going to fight to the death, and last group standing gets the contract.
Up. Thank you.
You missed a couple of comments.
And Guana said that's what house rules are for. Well, that's what I got last.
Yep.
But very Chinese feel to it with the dragon tail.
Right. Yeah.
I can see it if you wanted to kind of Eastern adventure it.
Yeah, but yeah, you could definitely make it a little more combat heavy if you wanted to, and stat out some groups of NPCs, and you can abstract most of that so that where you're only fighting one group, maybe you're like the last one that gets to go and whatnot. The full hand. You got one that's really hard to pronounce.
You know what? I'm not even going to do it. Dragon names are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you can come up with your own.
Call him Pubert.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are you groaning at me, Femi? With some of that shit you throw on the...
Yeah.
Glad I took my fucking pills. Anyway. All right.
No,
River Trip is...
it'd be like Hubert Brimstone the Third or something like that. That'd be the human name that he uses.
Oh, the Hampshire Brimstones?
Yeah.
Very well indeed, yes.
From New Hampshire. Yeah.
New Hampshire. We raise pigs around here. Yeah. Anyway, 8-hour trip on the on the crew. The crew is there. Info for the crew is irrelevant to me in this particular case. Make up your own damn NPCs. Give them stupid accents. Yeah. Do something fun, okay?
That could be another spot for a combat encounter. Somewhere on the river.
Hold on. The boat mostly transports the RDB mercenary group's contracts and branch payments. Well-guarded sounding. There's a mercenary group on the boat called the Oppressors, or whatever the hell the stream wants. By the way, can you bump that up one more size there, production mistress?
I think the Oppressors sounds very not corporate. Yeah.
I'm sorry. When was the last time you were involved in a corporate structure? Oppressor sounds exactly like a fucking corporate structure.
Right, but they're not that blatant about it.
Why not?
No, they're the repossessors.
Okay, fine, repossessors.
Or something like that. Yeah, go.
But
right.
this is also a separate company. They're on another loan payment contract. They're eager to bust heads for people who don't pay. And they're friendly, and they're ready to give advice. Now, this is a great time for your players to maybe fuck up and roll well enough to catch some side information.
Yeah.
PR department. Name him Hines. Remind your players they're crunching and doing catch up.
I
do like
the
that
PR
too.
Department. Yeah.
Now,
what do you guys call themselves? We are PR department.
This is one of the things that I wanted to talk about. This is how we're sort of fucking up with our
inhuman resources.
Yeah, inhuman resources is nice. This to me is a great opportunity for the players to have their first encounter that can go combat or non-combat. Mm-hmm. If they walk up, and they throw their penis on the table, so to say, and the other player doesn't react very well, then it turns into a combat. If it reacts pretty well, they could actually get some information out of them. Hell, they could end up having a couple of drinks with these guys, and it's an 8-hour boat ride, for fuck's sake. What are you gonna do? Stand and look at the river for 8 hours?
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways you could do it, and I like having especially in a one shot or even in a campaign, I like having choices for the players.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of forced combat.
Yeah, how much of an asshat do you want to be? If you want to be a decent human being, maybe you get some information out of it.
Yeah, maybe you guys are cool
you
with
end up
them.
in a fight with somebody.
Yeah. Or you could do what Femi did in one of my one shots, where she accidentally seduced one of the bad guys. Like he tracked him down and showed up later with flowers. Yeah, the orc boss. After they killed his boss. Yeah. So he was kind of jobless at that point. He showed up later.
Tapping out.
And it was hilarious.
Tapping out.
They still got into combat, but she managed to charm him. And that kind of ended the fight right there.
Well, I mean, combat for an orc really is just foreplay, isn't it?
But she bamboozled him, too. She charmed him. I think he told him to go stand outside and wait for you. And then everybody went out the back door.
A random bear attack.
Yeah. We've done that in some one-shots, too.
It's a river. You can do better than that.
Yeah.
Have a scrag crawl on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's a few things you could do with it.
TJ, my God, dude, I ain't got the fucking words, Dave. I really don't.
Yeah.
These people, man.
Actually, that would be like the perfect way to throw in stuff from the Acquisitions Incorporated book, where the players have specific jobs within the company, like documancer and secretarian and occultant.
Quill just stepped in on something that was going to be that's not a bad idea in all actuality, guys. and that's a wonderful idea. Maybe the fairies are actually used to live in the swamp until it turned, rancid with the black dragon
You could
stuck in
totally
it.
do that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they've been driven out. So there's another side arc,
Production mistress.
story-wise, that could end up being really cool.
Adorable. Allison. No. No. Not on a bet.
Is that all you got? Two
No
middle fingers?
money.
Sometimes you just don't have enough middle fingers. Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Damn. Hold on.
Right.
Go back over there. Nest of Fairies, Hollow Tree. That's not a bad way to kind of jump into that, too.
Yeah, maybe.
And look at the very bottom line. The boat has the bar that works on the boat is entertainment, making the ship go by faster. The bar decides to join in, maybe.
Yeah.
But look at what we just have here. Production mistress wrote in here because she's trying to, keep the theme of the show alive.
Yeah.
That boats always have songs.
So, yeah.
I literally had writing that the boat needed a song.
Yep. Let me pull it up here. And I'm going to need my guitar.
Yeah. I'm going to give you your guitar and get the hell out of your way for a minute, and I'm going to go at the potty. Smell it already. Red tide rolls in the salt marsh because everything it smells like jock itch and unwashed socks. That kind of reminds me of my first apartment, but I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Let me find a better version of this that I like. Yeah. But yeah, boat rides are always fun. Yeah, it's a boat ride song. So let's see. God, nobody's got really good lyrics for this one. That'll work. So this is what's called a sea shanty. Because most Irish songs are about boats fighting or drinking, or any combination thereof. Oh, you had to put it in Dadgad, didn't you? All right, here we go. Boat song. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor, shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the bed with the captain's daughter, put him in bed with the captain's daughter, put him in bed with the captain's daughter. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, throw him in the lock with an angry bear, throw him in the lock with an angry bear, throw him in the lock with an angry bear. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, forge his name and cash his paycheck, forge his name and cash his paycheck, forge his name, cash his paycheck. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning, Add his boss as a friend on Facebook. Add his boss as a friend on Facebook. Add his boss as a friend on Facebook. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Toss him in the bath with an angry cat. Toss him in the bath with an angry cat. Toss him in the bath with an angry cat. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Yeah, steal his grog and make him sail sober. Steal his grog and make him sail sober. Steal his grog and make him sail sober. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. I must pet the camera now. I must pet the camera now. I must pet the camera now. Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in a dress and call him Sally. Put him in a dress and call him Sally. Put him in a dress and call him Sally, early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Make him buy a drink from the bar. Make him buy a drink from the bar. Make him buy a drink from the bar. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Make him swim 60 laps. Make him swim 60 laps. Make him swim 60 laps. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Make him work for a red dragon banker. Make him work for a red dragon banker. Make him work for a red dragon banker. Early in the morning. Up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Make him dance to an endless shanty. Make him dance to an endless shanty. Make him dance to an endless shanty. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. What shall we do with an English major? What shall we do with an English major? What shall we do with an English major? Early in the morning.
We should have something about shill for the camera, dumbass.
I was gonna do the make him captain an Exxon tanker.
We already did that. Didn't turn out very well for Alaska. Or anybody else for that matter. Oh, Lord of mercy. I like the Red Dragon Banquet. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That says a lot, Quill.
Nice. So it's time for me to go pee now.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, you can go pee if you want to.
Yeah, you got this.
I
I'll be back shortly.
So we're talking about, at this point, give him a stick and have him poke candy. You know what?
What about some pin cushioning? Some ideas for caps in the game?
Oh, Lord of mercy, pin cushioning. Okay. There's a lot here, guys. Oh, Lord. Let me think of this on a quick one. Okay, just thus far. See, here's the problem that I've got. The problem that I've got is that I don't think the I love you too, yes. The bank would do their dead level best to get them to the town first. So to me, until they arrive in Pennsbrook itself, pin cushioning is not an issue. I think the RDB is going to make damn sure that their new mercenary group makes it to the city. Hey, Deep Rock, what's up, buddy? So I think that we're waiting until we get into Pennsbrook, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to that portion because that's all good. Pennsbrook docks are obviously new and have some brisk business being done at them. Now, what that says is that the bank that the RDB originally gave the town has been well used. Okay? Major export seems to be grain due to the large silos. Dock leads right into the town's wide main drag. Buildings are well kept, good condition, small range of shops tailored to local economic strata, which means that this is where the DM makes up what the fuck is in the city, which is fine. Before we get into the Penns Diver, I want to go back to the actual docks themselves. This is a good spot, in my opinion, to start bringing up the first of the toughs. Now, the toughs are in reality the bad guys that are working for the Black Dragon that are being sent by virtue of knowing the players are coming, by virtue of the mole that's already in the other city. So the toughs are here looking. Now, if there's an absolute wonderful, beautiful moment for you to drop the toughs on the characters here, you could, but I don't think so. My personal feeling, okay? My personal feeling is if you want to go combat heavy, if your party's just champing at the bit to get into a fight, get them into a fight with the toughs on the dock, but make sure you pull the toughs away. They escape. The city guard comes and rousts them, and they stop the fight, before it gets too far out of hand or whatever. However the hell you want to handle it, okay? But I think that the toughs should be there. Maybe it's possible. Sal. Maybe it's possible for the players to see the toughs and not realize who they are, but the toughs are there to kind of size up the players. This is also a good chance for you to take a chance as a DM or take an opportunity as a DM to look at your toughs and make sure they provide a suitable challenge for your players. Now, this is where the shit can start to hit the proverbial oscillating device. You go to the public house and inn called the Penns Diver. Penns Diver caretaker and bartender is a man named Tim and his 3 daughters. Rooms are for rent here. There's a band playing for the town and a new group of bards. There's a thing went off, some sort of thing called the Battle of the Bands. That's going to be next week. Trust me, it's going to be great. There's a couple of ideas here that have been floated before from other players and from other people at the table. The bartender and the 3 daughters are all mind flayers. They're nice. They're very nice. They're just here to sell drinks. Here, human, have drink. Otherwise, I would say that the inn should be clean and nice and tidy. Because the first time anybody makes a mess, one of the mind flayers walks in and says, "You want to clean your room." There is a band playing for the town as a new group of bards. Other band went up to some Battle of the Bands. So what you're saying is, at this point, how much brawling at the bar? That's up to you, Femi. Again, this is one of those things. This is one of those things where you can use this opportunity to, if you have a combat heavy group, push them in the combat. If you have a combat light group or diplomatic group, it's a good idea. You can even start a fist fight and have them figure out a way to get the fuck out of it before it sucks them in. There's all kinds of ideas you can use here. You don't have to go any further than that, okay? Now, they got the name of Lulu's friend on the boat. They can stay with her. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Lulu was a boat captain. Okay. If they get the name of Lulu's friend on the boat, they can stay with her. She's a local alchemist, lives off the main drag, has a small guest house. She has a wolf. What? Right. And that's, of course, you don't show your ass on the boat. Like, if you start a fight with a mercenary company, even if it's just a good-natured fight, she's probably not going to be happy about it.
She's not going to be cool with you.
So you're not going to get the name of her friend.
Yep.
Now, one of the things that I find interesting is that if you have a low-level party doing this, then you can have that information of not getting the information from Lulu and not meeting her friend means you don't get free room and board, which can be pretty big with a new adventuring
I
party.
would think, if the bank is paying for the the boat ride and all that, they're also paying for your room.
Once you're there, screw you. You're on your own dime, pal.
Okay, yeah, that works too. Yeah, maybe
Now, you could negotiate the contract for that, too.
Players might negotiate for that, and that would be cool to leave that open and let and see if they actually do it.
For you people out there that don't know, Production Mistress has always been a very frightening human being for me. And that cackle says it all. Years ago, I named her the Mother of Evil. Anyway, this next little part she wrote frightens me on a profoundly biblical, deep level in the pit of my soul. The town itself is full of life and smiles. A happy town with happy people.
Is it mandatory happiness?
No, they're just happy.
Oh, okay. They're just genuinely happy. Okay.
You know what? I still don't
'Cause
think,
I've done
that
that
still
one.
sounds fishy to me, Mo.
I've done that one. I sent my players to Nadala, where where it's mandatory happiness.
Femi doesn't take any contract
sure,
without a
totally
daily
good.
stipend. Femi has expenses.
Yeah.
I love that.
If you have a player that does that, that's good.
Yeah.
It's mandatory happiness, smile or get 8. I like that.
Yeah.
So the local baronet's house is a medium-sized mansion, northern point of the end of the main drag. Mansion's made from local stone. I like that as a detail.
Mm-hmm.
Flags out front indicate a few facts about the baronet. Baronet's lesser member of a powerful Order of Thorns. Am I supposed to know what Order of Thorns is?
Like a druidic order. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. And then you've got, she is a member of the Wendletons, a lower-powered noble family line, and she is currently in residence.
Yeah, and maybe they've run the town for centuries.
You know what?
Or if you have another person like in the party who is like in that order, or you have a party member.
Yeah, like say you've
Yeah,
got
you could
you've
tie
got a
that
druid
in.
character, and that's another tie-in for a hook. So you've got a player playing a druid. Maybe they're a member of that order. They've been called in.
So a
as
happy
well by
town, does that mean
their
the buildings are singing joyful songs? Yeah. They're all walking around singing, Eyes of the Hound of Music. Anyway,
order.
shut up. Town. Okay, here's something that
But
to
it's
me,
winter for Stalin.
here's something that me that quit stalling around. Anyway, here's a detail that I don't even think she thought about, but with our black dragon, which is a big change. Town sports very nice trees and well-tended flower features. Fill in the local druid, okay? The local druid would be the crazy person.
Go a little nuts.
Yeah, you can go a little nuts if you want to. Druid's old and crazy, won't shut up by hard it is to keep plants living with the problems with the water.
Right.
He says there are demons in the water, blames the crop failures on a giant bat. That's guano isn't very good for fertilizer. Holy shit. Anyway, he says the alchemist is an evil witch who has the entire town under her spell. Proof is Jeremy the lizard told him Jeremy's a real reliable wizard. Jeremy will be on a rock nearby.
That's a nice little red herring to throw in, and those can be fun in a one shot, but they do eat up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So that could be something that you drop if you're on a time crunch.
Yeah,
So say you're
for sure.
you're trying to run a 2 or 3 hour session. If you've got all night, then yeah, throw in that red herring there, and maybe you go off. Maybe you're
Because they should trust the lizard.
maybe you send the party off looking in the swamp for a hag because that's what the druid thinks is causing all the problems, or whatever.
I really like the details here. The alchemist here, Brigitte. You see orders from the baronet for sleep tonics, other cool info. Knows about the loam details, extra tonics to the banker who came through for a foot rash. You normally get those from swamps. I like that too. Those are all great details to add in there. But I'm also wondering, and again, this goes into what you just said. How much of this information do you want to throw in? And how long do you want them to chase all the red herrings?
Right.
Because none of
Yeah, you
this
don't
is
wanna throw
actually
too
having
many
anything
of
to do with it,
those
right?
in.
So a lot of this information, the Black Dragon is the Druid. I like that idea. That's pretty funny.
Yep.
The Black Dragon ate the Druid a long time ago and is just using the Druid's form to sort
But we
of.
have another idea for the
Oh
Black
God,
Dragon.
yeah.
And we're going to get to that.
Check that in a minute.
But I do like using red herrings that actually end up steering the party in the right direction anyway. Because you want to get them out into the swamp because that's where the business happens. You know,
Now, see, I like if you have a chance to talk to the baker.
Stinkville.
I like the idea of the banker. The banker's got some great information here of the baker that I like. That's just part of the main drag here. Because you could spend an entire evening just talking to fucking NPCs.
Sure. You could even do, for a heavy roleplay group, you could have them actually join in on a town meeting where they discuss what's going on.
Sure.
And that's I've actually run a couple of one shots where that was part of the story was the players end up getting involved in this town meeting where they're discussing what's going on and all that, and that can be a good hook and get the players involved in the town, so that they want to help.
The baker is the first actual mention that I think that is, to me, is the big deal. The baker's, let me see, knows quite a bit about the loan. He knows they had to wait 2 months because of the grain shortage. Sent letters pleading for a stay on the loan on behalf of his little town. Daughter's the personal cook for the baronet, and because of what she's saying, he's sure it's being repaid. His daughter is the personal cook for the baronet, and because of what she's been saying, he's sure it's being repaid. Which, the loan, exactly.
There's our mole.
Which is, well, that'd be great.
Yeah, make the daughter the mole.
Sure. Now, Baker's making a huge cake for a party that's going on up the river at the Sundaldra estate. Now, this is important for me. Mm-hmm. The woman that owns the estate makes his skin crawl, but she pays well for cakes. A few people in the town run errands on her behalf. Name of one of the toughs, which means one of the people you might have had a brawl with on the waters, on the docks.
Yeah.
You get a name somehow.
Yeah,
that name comes back up.
Nugget
there's that little piece that leads you in that direction.
Your tie-in with, okay, maybe this person is the bad guy,
And of course, the baker wants you to buy things that are pretty good. But to me, the druid is...
You can have the druid or not.
I like the druid for the simple fact that you remember Diablo 1? Mm-hmm. Okay. Remember how much time you spent talking to Cain and Griswold,
right?
And Elzix, right?
Yeah.
Not Elzix. What was his name?
No,
the healer. Anyway, you spend a lot of time talking to them. Every once in a while, you swing down and talk to the drunk Farnham. Mm-hmm. You drink water. I mean, you know what I'm saying. To me, the druid fits that role. If you happen to breeze by, let's just say, stay a while and listen. No shit. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, your players aren't getting the fucking hint.
That's a vehicle,
and they're wandering around by the river one day, or that afternoon, and the druid just happens to be standing there, bitching and complaining about how his petunias aren't living. And then he can throw out those nuggets about the water, about how hard it is to keep plants going. But I think, for my
if
money,
they don't do that, you could have him show up at the town meeting.
Yeah, I think.
And he could explain in front of everybody that, the crops are dead because there's, nobody has 10-foot poles anymore and flasks of oil, or whatever, But yeah, you could have him explain that he thinks there's a hag in the area, and that sends them off on a wild goose chase. So where they think they're going to find a hag and fight her, and maybe that's when you send them to the estate where the Black Dragon lives.
Well, there's also a way to get in there too. The baronet, Kathy Wendleton's of the North Havishire Wendletons. She will not take the adventurer's request for a meeting until the evening, giving them time to explore the town, which means that you have ample opportunity to stumble upon the druid, and he gives you oblique advice if you don't find any other way. But I'm telling you, for my money, that meeting with the baker is the best damn thing you've got going for information gathering. Unless, of course, you want to flesh it out a little bit of a different way.
It'll be up in a second again. I've been doing too much shit on my laptop.
Okay. Before the meeting, check the town combat encounters. Okay. Here's where things get into perspective for me, okay? Again, I don't see any traps or pincushioning happening until you're on your way to Black Dragon Estate.
Yep.
But a good old-fashioned ass-kicking is always available. Because remember, we have your pack of toughs.
Right.
Now, the toughs have already been instructed to go take care of this shit.
Yeah, and they've done it before. They did it with the last group. So.
And there may have been a couple of people in the toughs group who were part of the last group who decided to flip when the money looked better or their lives were on the line. Which means that if you manage to defeat
So it might be
toughs
a couple of them
and
too,
question
and
somebody, you might be able to squeeze some more info.
Yeah.
But combat encounter area, which means that I think you're going to have a couple of waylays. You know, the problem with having combat in the middle of town is, and this is where people get all screwed up, okay? People walk into there with their murder hobo ideas, and they start killing people and taking shit. And then the guards show up and arrest them and take them to jail and execute them for the King's Crown of murder.
Right.
Right?
And
you can't pick brawls in the center of town.
You can, and one in this case, I think you can do it. It's a small town, right?
Right.
Their town guard is like a few guys.
Sure.
They're part-time farmers or whatever, or full-time farmers that volunteer as town guard.
Sure.
They're going to see what's going on. They see spells getting flung, and they're like, "Whoa, no, I'm not about this."
I get it.
We're going to die if we
But
go
I
in there.
don't
We're
think
gonna
you
let
do
this
that in
happen.
the center of town square. I think you do it by the edge of the bar. I think you do it in one of the alleyways.
You
I
can
think
do that
you
too,
use
yeah.
the advantage of the toughs who have the information the players don't. In its own way, it's a trap because you can always give advantage to your toughs for the first couple rounds.
Yeah. Well, I've done a few where it's brawl happens in like the crowded the town market, where it's all crowded, and by the time it's done, everybody is pretty much evaporated. They're running off. The town guard is just getting there by the time everybody else is scattered. Like it's over by the time the town guard shows up.
I do also like the detail about
so
the
they have no
baronet.
idea what's going on, and they don't know who to arrest.
I also like the idea of the baronet. There's a little detail here that I haven't gone into yet. She has a very nice knight who explains things in very nice words to the party if they try to forcibly see her, which means she has big guy with big armor, big shield, and big sword that says, "Piss off." Mm-hmm. Lady said, "Piss off." Now, that right there is the first opportunity for your characters to go bug nuts. Well, I'm going to roll to seduce him. He doesn't want you. Why not? You don't have the right plumbing. Well, how do you know? I'm the DM.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. You're
who
not gonna
cares?
get anywhere.
Whatever.
He's a paladin. He's not
Whatever.
helping anything.
Whatever. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
man, I'm not going to get into that conversation. No.
He's saving himself for Paylor.
Saving himself for Lathander. Anyway,
Same thing. Yeah.
so
But,
that's
that's an option too.
that to me is an important detail because that gives you an opportunity as the player, as the DM, to make them go the fuck away and do something different. Mm-hmm. Because most people want to kind of bully their way through those kind of encounters. Now, she's also not there if they try. Kathy's well-dressed, well-spoken. This is an appointment. You have to make the appointment. See, this to me also goes a long way into developing some urgency in the later part of the encounter because you only have a certain amount of time to do this in.
Yeah.
Okay? Make an appointment.
Well, and it further shows that the town doesn't think this is a big deal. As far as they know, in the town, the loan got bought out, and they're paying it. As far as they know, they're on the up and up.
Production
Everything's
mistress.
fine.
Expando wordo.
Bodyguard's a mind flayer.
There we go. I
like
think it's. By the way, cool. I'm sorry. It was a great fucking idea. It was an excellent idea, especially using the fairies as some foreshadowing, because
Yeah. I really like that.
my favorite phrase in the entire world is the guy has a look on his face like a horse who smells the first whiff of smoke.
What about a family of fairy dragons?
No. No. Yeah, but that's not the same thing. I'm sorry, man. Just because you have a butt and you have a mouth doesn't mean you're going to get what you want from me. Now, besides, maybe I just don't like you. Now, when you get the appointment, here's the big payoff here, okay? When you talk to Kathy, she tells you point blank. She claims she's still paying the loan and has no idea what the hell you're talking about. And the thing you have to remember...
As far as they know, they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
She is 100%. And this is a lady who's part of the lower nobility. Therefore, not only is she... There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Timmy.
yeah, definitely.
Wonderful idea. Now, let's... Oh, God. Fairy Dragon, kiss my ass.
Put up the doc so they can see what you were talking about.
Now, she claims that she's still paying the loan, has no idea what you're talking about. This is lower nobility, okay? Not only is she not used to being told that she's full of shit, but she's not used to having to explain herself to fucking plebs.
Right.
Okay? So when she tells you, oh, what you're talking about, we're paying the damn loan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? She's going to do it in probably the most condescending way she can do it. But she shows you the contract for the loan and her last receipt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's where the players get a chance to figure out that shit's going
she's
bad.
Not paying the right. Yeah.
It's not the Red Dragon Bank, but to the Sindaldra Holding Company. She has paperwork that shows the SHC purchased the default loan from RDB, and she is now paying them back. She says all of her paperwork is in order. And it is in order, according to her. This is one of the things that I've always
as far as
thrown
she's
out.
concerned, everything is, although maybe she's a little confused that she never got any sort of notice that she was in default or anything like that. Maybe she's just assumed that
Oh, God. Iguana. Oh, God, what happened to the
shit
monitor?
went weird there. I think your HDMI cable went weird.
I think your HDMI cable went flu-boo.
Or your video card.
You got to see it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. It's either video card or HDMI.
Oh, here.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now it works.
There we go. I do like, no, Quill, no. Now, 5 Intelligence Barbarian, me pay, you fuck off.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Now,
The more you ask her, the slower she talks to you.
Or she just pulls out crayons.
paid
and
the
draws a
loan.
picture. She has a stick figure handing money to
Hey,
the
Femi.
banker. Yeah.
There's a couple people that I can think of, maybe.
Quality broadcasting right there.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made anybody roll to seduce the DM.
Cage was totally oblivious over there.
She's giving you some stink eye, though.
Now, one of the things I want to impress upon you, because this is a point where these are high-level characters, they're probably going to try something like spell work to double-check whether or not she's telling me the truth.
Yeah, they.
Well,
might
she
try-
is,
Yeah,
because it's the only truth that she knows.
yeah, and they can pop Zone of Truth all they want.
Because she's telling the truth.
She's not lying. So.
I'm not into you that much. I need to keep it. I'm not wearing pants, Quill.
Keep it under your skirt.
It's a kilt, thank you. Now, oh, phone, why? Phone, why?
Oh, no.
I didn't pet the
there we
phone.
go.
There we go.
You gotta pet the phone.
Okay, we are.
But,
Christ on his throne.
but at any rate, you can take all these little pieces and rearrange them however you want. A good one shot should be flexible. You should be able to deal with your players just kind of running off and doing whatever they're going to do, and be able to kind of loop them back into the story. And you have to do it quickly in a one shot.
There's one thing that I want to bring up, though, here that's very important, what she wrote in here. This is a really good detail, by the way, and I do like that she included it because it means that you've got a real moment. If you're nice to her, she'll let you have the passes to the Sindaldra birthday ball, which is where you have to go.
Yeah.
So you can ask her, the lady in Sindaldra, SHC, for yourself. But she warned you this is the only time she's at the estate to ask about it, which means there's none of this, I'm going to go see if I can get a better fucking deal and come back. No, once you leave the house, if you don't have the tickets from her, that ship sailed. You're done.
I think we came up with a better name for her, Lady Sable.
Yeah, Lady Sable.
Yeah.
I like Sable.
Kind of gives you a little hint of the black dragon sort of thing. She's got like an estate out in the swamp. And maybe your party is really dumb and they think that they need to go save her from the black dragon in the area, which could be really hilarious.
Hilarious watching them, their eyes pop out of their skull.
That, and not realize that that's who she is. But yeah, there's a ton of things you can do there that could be a lot of fun.
Quill, let me say this much. Town needs to have a library for players that like to gather history on the town. This is a small town, and if you're going to gather history on a town this small, my opinion is you go hit the old men overall drinking beer in the tavern.
You missed the part about the city hall, where they have a sign-in sheet for all the previous. The town wants you to sign in. We were talking about happy people, so they do have like a.
They still have a town log.
It's up there. It's up quite a bit.
Although in a lot of towns, it's just an actual log.
Yeah, it's up.
You could totally do that. You got to sign into the log, and it's just a log with writing on it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's in the happy cow.
Would you realign, please?
All right. Hey, we can move on to the Penbrook investigation conference. See what they think of those.
Okay. Would you please? Thank you.
Ah, there it goes. So the Pembroke investigation conflicts.
I'm looking. Give me a second.
I think it was down further.
Yep. The investigation points. Nope. I'm still going. I'm getting there. Give me a second. Here we go. Pembroke investigation conflict. Tracking down the Tufts. Tufts are now working for the Sable Holding Company under the orders to take care of anybody poking around.
Yeah,
We've already got that.
Yeah, and I think we covered that with you learn one of the names of the guys that you fought earlier, and you get information on their association with Lady Sable or whatever.
The last group of adventurers are now also working for Sable. When asking around, the last party will take out the adventurers. Okay, cool. So the last party is part of the tough crew, and they're going to try to take them out. Of course, that's fine.
Yeah.
The last party,
they've gotten a better offer.
Oh yeah, they got a better offer.
And the party could absolutely beat the piss out of all those guys and capture one of them, and then
interrogate them and find out
more information and about what's going on. That could fast track them a little bit.
Oh my fucking God. Here we go. The assassin in Periwinkle Blue. A top-level assassin of the Black Dragon, a fashion on-point elf who would show up in the background a few times but not be interested in engaging with the party. Master of planning, always have a way in and out. Study targets, no qualms about being unfair. Only strike if the party's already gravely injured or planning to maim the players. They were told not to kill, but make sure they went crawling back to their bloated red daddy with nothing to show for it. He will kill them and hates killing assets. He throws a fit. Okay.
That's a weird assassin.
That's a really great assassin. I like it because this is a great opportunist.
That could be a good tie-in with the mole.
Yeah.
See what I'm thinking about?
You know what? You could almost make the mole the Periwinkle Blue assassin.
That could work too. Yeah.
I mean, what better than posing as a yokel baker's daughter?
Mm-hmm. And maybe the mole is also working behind the scenes to, not only send information, but to hamper the party as well. Maybe she has a talk with the Baronet and says, "Hey, these guys aren't on the up and up. No, really, the Red Dragon Bank is trying to screw you. They're, so there's a little political intrigue there that can go on, where maybe after she talks to the Baronet suddenly like cuts ties and goes, "No, you guys need to get out of my town."
That's true. Go.
So getting on the guest list, I think there should be a couple different ways to do it. Maybe not like. So the idea is for this encounter essentially is you need to infiltrate your way into a ball that Lady Sable or whatever is throwing. All of them must wear a shade of blue if they're the guest of the assassin, which that could, I'm not sure how that would work.
What that was that you could actually have an encounter.
But you could totally have.
You can get out and win, and the assassin may use.
The assassin finds you interesting, so it finds
offers you the ball as his or her guest.
Sure, yeah, that works.
I like playing with the band.
Yeah, so if you've got a bard in the party, maybe they play in the inn in town, and they get an invite and some plus ones or whatever, and get invited to the ball. And this could be an angle where that gets really interesting because Lady Sable has a mole in town. She knows who you are, and she's inviting you in essentially to get a little closer look. So that can be really cool.
I think the idea of sneaking in is counterproductive to the idea of a one shot. I think sneaking in would take far too long. Unless you have a character, players who are stealth oriented.
There's two ways to do it. Essentially, you get invited or you bust down the door. Which that's going to be a fight with a black dragon inner layer.
Now, I love this. Pretending to be new nobles in town, the group pretends to be a very important ability and demands invites. Sable knows it, but's a big fan of drama and making fools of themselves. So sends.
Because as a black dragon, she's arrogant as hell.
Personal invites as their special guests will torment them by putting them awkward in situations the entire night, which is basically, again, a good way of her gauging where you're at.
And she may also have a side goal of potentially turning the party. She knows,
absolutely.
Like she's smart enough to know that the bank is going to send a group that's a little more powerful.
Here's one that I really love.
If she can get the party on her side, then she's got a leg up against.
Oh, good Lord! Morning from Belgium. How you doing, Dwaro? Good morning, indeed. I love this offering to help the baker. The baker's worried about transporting the cake and would love to have strong and powerful troubleshooters. Depending upon how much sociability the player characters have with the baker,
you can do so much with that ball. You could okay, so you can have the bards weigh in. You could talk to the baker and come in as caterers. You could there's tons of different ways you can get.
I also love the idea of killing and replacing other bulls.
You can totally James Bond this shit, with a group.
Find one of the carriages of the invited nobles, kill them.
Yeah, you want to make it easy. Because you want the players to end up there, so you want to. I haven't seen anything on that. How do you get into a masquerade ball or whatever without sneaking in, without breaking?
How do you get into a masquerade ball without having the right fucking clothes?
Right.
I mean, you're just not going to walk in. You're not going to waltz into a fucking noble's house, and that's part of the thing in there too is getting clothes. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff in here that Shiva mentions about.
Well, maybe
trained tailors.
Maybe that's an agenda item for the town hall meeting. Is the masquerade ball, and who's going and whatnot, and do we have masks ready and all that stuff. That could be a thing that gets brought up.
Here's where I want to throw something out that I think is important. Okay, this is where you're only, in my opinion, easy peasy set up. Set up pin cushioning comes in. let's just say that there's a couple of causeways that come into the. This is an estate in the middle of the swamp. This is where you break out your weirdo, monster ambush. Sable's perfectly content with having you die before you get there.
Yeah.
So her tufts are hurting a couple of frog hemoths. And the frog hemoths jump you on the causeway. Now, you have a couple of problems here, okay? If you're high-level adventurers, a couple of frog hemoths aren't going to be very bad, aren't going to be difficult. But here's the question. How badly are they going to fuck up your new clothes?
Right? You're going to look like you got in a fight on the way in.
Are you going to waltz into a noble lady's house smelling like swamp water and frog hemoth guts?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're invited, you're going up the main easy road through the swamp. You're walking right up to the estate, and you're getting let in the front door. If you're trying to sneak in, there's going to be a combat encounter on the way in. Is
it possible to gain Sable's favor offering to turn? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That would for sure be a way.
And that's a resolution right there.
Or even some subterfuge to throw her off her guard, get more information, and possibly go and take her out.
Yeah, how good are you going to have to roll to bullshit a black dragon in her house?
I don't know. My 5th level bard has a +9 to persuasion.
You're a fucking 5th level bard. Kiss my crippled ass. Not everybody's going to have that same fucking ability.
We're talking about 10th level characters potentially.
Yeah, but how many fighters are going to have a +9 to persuade?
Oh, no, none of them. Well, they've also got legendary resistance, too. So if they fail a save, they can just go, no, I passed it.
Right.
And they can do that 3 times
right,
a day.
and then that's cool. But I'm just saying, that to me sounds a lot harder than it could actually be. Now, there's a lot of information that she has here, okay? I love the Sable conflict. Social combat, ? They get clues. Dragon combat, they get fucked. Play well with the band and go on tour forgetting about the job. These are all
that could work too.
So what we're getting into here, okay? Because here's the fun part to me. We don't have a whole lot of necessary need to lay it out in uncertain or certain terms.
Right.
You know what's going on as a players. The bad guy knows what the hell is going on. It really depends on how you want to resolve it, okay? Now, I like Telos. Don't try to BS the Black Dragon.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it is.
And I think the way it's going to work out is if you do get into a fight with Lady Sable, she's going to get the hell out of that mansion with a quickness.
Well,
now you've got to track her down to her cave in the swamp. Now she's in her lair.
So
it becomes an incredibly hard
Or let me ask you a serious question here, okay? You are 4 to 6 total fucking strangers. You walk into Lady Sable's house and you whip out a sword and go to assault her.
Right.
She got guards. How many people in the room are going to commence to kicking your candied ass?
Oh, yeah. To be fair, though, so it's a masquerade ball or whatever. Most of the people there are nobles from in town, maybe out of town a little bit.
They're going to have guards too.
Party. They might have a couple guards. So this is not a good fight to get in. However,
no.
She can't exactly shift into her true form in a house.
However,
but it's going to be a mess.
However,
she is going to get out of there as quick as she can and leave you to get killed by her guards.
The other thing I'm going to say too is that a polymorph dragon is still a fucking dragon. She's still going to pick you up and throw you through the fucking wall. Okay? So it's not like she's some broken little damsel in distress that can't defend herself. Now, she may continue to play that card just to keep on pulling the sympathy vote for the guards or whatever. But that's okay.
Well, and she doesn't want to be outed either. Not right away. So what she's likely to do is
bounce.
Yeah, she's going to get out of there. And she's going to get back to her lair.
My question is, do we have a situation where the dragon would have already front-end loaded that she's taken the majority of her good treasure and stashed it somewhere where she has it in the cave, she can exit, grab her shit, and bounce.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing that I want to bring up that hasn't been brought up yet.
And in the house encounter, if you do, if the party does decide to try to fight her in the house, if they manage to do a substantial amount of damage to her, she's going to realize that, okay, the Red Dragon Bank ain't fucking around. I need to get out of town.
Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge.
there. You're not going to find her in her lair because she's going to bounce to her lair, grab her stuff, and go.
And Raz, you're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Which does resolve the issue ultimately, and it completes the.
Ultimately, the whole goal for the players is to make sure the contract starts getting repaid to Red Dragon Bank.
Yeah.
However the hell that happens is irrelevant.
If they can drive that dragon out of town, that's a win.
So here's my question for you, okay? You drive the dragon out of town and she runs away. Does she come creeping back up to kick your ass later on?
Maybe, but that's for another adventure.
Exactly. Now, you've got, and when this gets published, you're going to love this, guys. There's a lot of, I'm not going to read all this because it's just not necessary right now, timing and everything else. There's a lot of information here, and a lot of it, to me, was lead us into the actual thing here.
Roz 651 brings up a good point. She would have magic items from her hoard to use it.
Absolutely.
In her defense. One of those things would absolutely be.
I love that. I love Iguana. The dragon never forgets. Thank you very much.
One of those items would absolutely, because you're dealing with high level players, right? Amulet of non-detection. They can't pop true sight and see her.
Wand of disenchantment.
Scroll of Mordenkainen's disjunction.
No shit. Anyway, so here's the big payoff. Okay. Yeah, you got 50 million things. You could also, I mean, come on, let's be perfectly blunt. Okay. The lady of the house provides the little mask for you to hold up to your face, and it just so happens to be enchanted to reinforce the illusion of her as a lady and not a dragon. So no matter what the hell you do, when the players don't realize it, they're rolling double saves.
I'm thinking she just has an amulet of non-detection.
Either way, you could do both of them. I'm just saying, if you didn't want to go non-detection. Mm-hmm. But that being said, there's all kinds of
I like that idea.
There's all kinds of dumb shit you can do.
Maybe Lady Sable isn't the real Lady Sable.
Now, maybe Lady Sable's just a plant.
She might just be some Cruella de Vil looking bitch that, is an actor, essentially.
I love the conversation going on here
like
about the whole dragon-blooded thing here.
Kind of like what they did with the Mandarin in
Iron
Man 3 or whatever. They finally find him, and it's like, no, I'm just an actor.
That hurts me so bad, but anyway.
It was good, though. It was
good.
You could throw something like that in there if you wanted to kind of force the fight to the dragon's lair.
Let me ask you a question. An important question. Do you enforce the idea of the players not being successful in killing the dragon, or do you give them the chance to kill the damn dragon?
Oh, you give them a chance to do it. I want to gear them up to the point where if it came down to it and they're smart enough and they play well, they could do it. They could pull it off.
Right.
They could potentially, make that happen. And that's why I picked the level range and number of players, was so that if it came down to that, they could potentially pull it off.
Okay. Now, see, for me, one-shots, and this is a matter of nature versus nurture, guys. Mm-hmm. For me, one-shots are a great way to fill time in the middle of campaigns. Mm-hmm. I would make the dragon always escape with 1 hit point and half the treasure, so the party gets a little bit of a payoff, shaking their fist in disgust as they fly away.
And you can totally change it up if it's something you're going to drop into the middle of an existing campaign. Yeah, you do it that way. Now you've got a recurring enemy.
All I'm saying is
you can go crazy with it.
All I'm saying is you can offer other options. I like the idea of tying it all in a nice, neat little bow. You kill the dragon, you rescind the contract, you get big money from Red Dragon. Boom. I love it.
Well, and not every one-shot needs to be super tied up. Maybe she does escape. Maybe that leads into another one-shot, down the road. But the contract is fulfilled. You did the job. You resolved the story.
Or if you guys, have an encounter with her, she's like, "Oh, you guys are so good at this. You're such strong adventurers here. have a cool magic item, I'm out.
Yeah.
That they think they will.
So I know if she's going to
Yeah.
behave normally if part of the dragon or dragon-like member. You know, I don't know the whole thing about how the dragon bloods and the dragons
Yeah.
act. I don't know that,
So-
but I'm going to say one thing, and this is where I'm going to get into a little bit of a sort of a push against maybe you know, whatever. This dragon is basing her shtick on playing the nobility, on deception. Okay,
Yeah, she's not your typical black dragon.
and
that
I
lives in the
don't
swamp
think
and
that
eats
you're
rotting stuff.
I don't think you're automatically going to be able to jerk her chain just because you're dragon blooded in her presence.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
they tend not to play nice near each other. Okay, I think that at that point, Telos, specifically to you, buddy.
Well,
I
for the
think
most part, it's not like they can smell it. It's not like they can look at a sorcerer and go, "Oh, that's a draconic bloodline," and that's not something that.
But I think
It's
in this
super
case,
obvious.
with this monster, with this setup, with this person, with this thing, I think that you need to, whatever you need to do, however you want to justify it, with this one phrase, I'm the DM and I said so, damn it. I think that you need to keep her, Lady Sable, clean and on. Capture the dragon and take her to the red dragon.
That could
Dude,
potentially be an option too.
if you
Yeah.
are badass enough, to drag that dragon back to your dragon, then you have made your fucking career.
Or better yet, you convince the black dragon to talk to the red dragon and start up a franchise.
Well, I mean, let's be perfectly honest. The red dragon's not very typical, okay?
Yep.
And
neither is the black dragon.
And they're not very typical. They're both very money oriented. I mean, you know,
They might just work together.
why in the fuck should you fight if you can all make money in the process?
right?
I mean, there's a million ways
Yeah,
to go.
and with any good one shot or even a campaign, there should be a ton of different ways that the players can resolve the story.
Right. And,
And
and again, don't get locked into any particular idea.
Yeah, and if they don't resolve the story your way, well, maybe they resolve it their way, and that's fine too.
Yeah, don't. This is where your one shot can't turn into cannot turn into a fucking a railroad. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Oh, yeah.
It messes
Well, any
everything
one-shot.
up and it screws it all up across the board.
Any game shouldn't be a railroad.
So
for
one
the
more
most part.
time here, guys, before we get ready to call this thing a night. Thank you, Sal.
You got to shill.
We're not fucking with Andy. Anyway, love you too, Quill. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Make sure you hit the sub button. Please, please sub. Tell your friends. Come and hit the follow button. Come and watch the stream. Come hang out with us. Just so you know, we will be working on getting this published soon. Production Mistress will keep us apprised. Next week, Dave is going to be creating the adventure. And the week after that, I'm going to be creating the adventure.
And Saturday we have Warrior Night here.
Yeah,
at the
and
tavern.
Saturday night we have one shots, and Dave and I are going to be here, and
I
we're going
plan
to be
to-
running games on the table. And Dave wants to.
I fully intend to run this one shot on Saturday.
Right. So Dave is going to be playing this particular module on Saturday. I'm going to do some simplex stuff, my own system on Saturday, and I'm going to sort of, throw a couple ideas out there for that. It'll be fun. Guys, come down and see us on Saturday. We're going to be here pretty much all damn day, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
What time we doing this?
Early.
I had it set up for 12:30 noon to start.
So we're going to start at noon and we're going to end whenever the hell it gets in.
Well,
Tell us.
better.
If you come here at 7:00, I will wait for you. If you tell me you're going to be here at 7:00, I'll be here. Make sure you get a game in.
And I've always got like a pile of one shots, so
Yeah.
and I got Saturdays off, so we run that one, we finish it. I can run more.
Okay, he can't be Saturday this week. Damn it.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, Quill, come on
But we're
down,
gonna
man.
be doing it more. We're gonna be doing last weekend of the month every month.
Yeah, actually, we are. Yeah, that is
and-
another thing.
and
Is
you know,
it the last Saturday of every month?
Yeah.
Okay,
and,
cool.
And if we get too many players, oh no, maybe both.
Oh,
of
you
us-
can. Well, good, Talos. Come on down and see me, man.
Maybe both of us run one shots. If we get too many players to show up.
If it overflows, people can always play in my game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, if you have too many people that come up on Saturday that want to do one shots, I'm going to be doing a game. He's going to be doing it.
Yep.
Production Masters are going to run a game, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, if you dive into one of those sci-fi games, you're just fucking going down the rabbit hole. But anyway,
I had on Free RPG Day. I had an absolute blast in that game, and it was the reason why I ended up buying the fake cards.
I totally ripped
for my
her
game.
off. I totally ripped her off. I totally ripped her off for my sci-fi games, just because your whole life was a rabbit hole. No shit.
Oh man. Yeah, Florida's a little ways away. That's a long commute.
So guys, it's kind of come to the end of the evening for the first time. I do. Yeah, come on down, Quill. Come on down, Quill. I will.
Well, mean DM.
Dude, I will whip your ass and put you up dry. Keep in mind that we're going to be here Saturday. We're going to be here every Monday. We're going to present this again. This has been kind of weird and a little bit blocky tonight. I'm sorry, but this is a
Yeah.
big format change. We're trying it from brand new.
So it'd be great to hear some feedback.
Yeah, go to the
on
go
how
go, go to
how
the
you
Discord.
like,
Can you share the Discord link real quick? Go to the Discord. Jump into Discord. Leave some ideas. Tell us what the hell you want to do. I mean.
The show has its own channel in Discord.
Yeah, the show has its own channel. Go to the Monsters Minstrels channel in Discord and drop ideas for one shots. I mean, even if we're not, you wouldn't be the first daddy.
I'm getting the link. Get me out here.
Oh, we're going to do the show with more shanty. Yeah, we're going to get Dave to do more shanty for us. Man, don't even. Come on.
I don't have any more. That was the one I had.
You just do that again and do lyrics from the chat again.
Why don't we-
Jeez, yeah.
Can you do
I
that?
used to know a ton of shanties.
But now you don't anymore.
Nah,
Dave, you're
I
breaking
don't
my
remember
fucking
anymore.
heart, dude.
Yeah, some of them I haven't done. Flogging Molly doesn't really do a whole lot of shanties.
Okay. So there's the Discord link up in the chat right now. So you guys can go there, go to Monsters Minstrels channel, drop off some ideas. Keep in mind that we're reading these ideas. So unfriendly toasty drunk and the best anyway. See? So anyway, remember we got a couple of things planned here, but after that we're just sort of like. Actually, I am in the Discord. When I'm in there, my name on the Discord is Rock and Roll Play. So whenever you guys come in, leave some ideas for us, guys. Seriously, leave some ideas for us. We'll be happy to take them up. Hell, it might end up getting turned into one shot, so we're going to read anyway. Production Mistress reads in there. Dave's in there. I'll be in there periodically. We'll look for the ideas. If you got any comments for the show, please leave them. We'll be more than happy to talk to any of y'all anytime. And we hope to see you next Saturday for this Saturday.
Yeah.
Sorry, I use that interchangeably. This coming up Saturday, we're going to have the one shot day. What is it called?
It's
The
hard
Warrior
to read
Night.
that from here. Is that Country Gnomes?
Country Gnomes is a good song to end on.
Country Gnomes, take me home
To the hole
garden.
where I belong.
Yeah. I eat the slugs.
Anyway,
I don't know.
so
I
we're
don't know
gonna.
what garden gnomes actually do.
So again, we're going to be here. It's called Warrior Night, right?
Yeah, Warrior Night. It's a night of meat and meat.
It's a night of meat and mead. What is the deal for that, by the way?
We just have giant steaks and shit.
We're going to have wonderful
Are we gonna get
steaks.
the emu legs?
No, we got giant turkey legs.
Oh, giant turkey
Oh, that
legs are
works
going to be there too. Keep in mind too.
Are
Come
you
in
sure
with the
they're
Metroid
they're not
shirt.
emu? 'Cause usually the giant turkey legs.
By the
are
way,
actually emu.
just for anybody who comes in
tastes
here,
like turkey.
the meat they have here is fucking amazing. By the
And
way,
we have meat on tap too, which is awesome.
Yeah, we have meat on tap. It's
We're doing some special needs with Seattle Meadery just for them.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
So we will
Mark,
have
So Mark Tanner from Seattle Mead is going to come in and do some crazy stuff.
meads.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
I have an accent, okay?
I have a
Anyway.
bottle of his rhubarb mead that I haven't opened yet.
Oh God. So yeah, we're gonna have some special ones on Saturday. We're gonna be here for Warrior Night, meat and mead, meat and mead.
Are we going to do the warrior salad where it's just a bunch of meat in a bowl with a leaf at the bottom?
Okay, all right. So, guys, come on down and see us on Saturday for that day. We're going to be running one-shots all day. We're going to be sitting around and having a good time. We're going to be here next Monday.
Dressed as warriors.
Okay, fine.
Well,
I'll
not
dress
Monday,
as warriors.
but Saturday, yeah.
Okay, I'll dress as a warrior on Saturday.
Some of us may have swords.
I'll have a little. I have a thing.
Encouraged to bring a sword.
We're encouraged. Okay, so we're encouraged to bring up sharp pointies.
Is there a limit on swords?
No, it's warrior night.
Like, how many swords can I bring?
As long as they're not projectile swords, you're fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be here Saturday for Warrior Night, Meat and Mead. We're going to be here next Monday. We're going to have another adventure by Dave coming up.
Yep.
Thanks for putting up with the jankiness of the first night of the new format. Please get in the Discord. Give us some feedback. Remember, follow. Remember, subscribe. Do all the things. Press all the buttons. There's still things on YouTube you can go look at. Old videos you can like.
And we'll
What?
get new ones up there here and there. I think.
All right, you guys gonna play out or just say goodnight?
He
I
says
think
he.
we'll just say goodnight.
I'm going to say it tonight because I don't think Dave wants to
Yeah.
play right now.
Nah.
Goodbye.
We will see you next week, if not sooner.